And Sue Bird has the ball as Stewart controls the tip. Are underway. Bird bouncing on top for Clark, who's coming off a strong game in their loss against the Liberty. Stewart's first shot does not fall. And here comes the Sun, pushing it up the middle of the floor. That's Jazz Thomas, who had only a couple of points in the loss against Indiana, but had a season-high 17 in the first game against Seattle. And Kelsey Bone still trying to find her game in this early part of the season as the first two for the Sun.
Good for the Sun to get her started right away and moving against Stewart right there. She needs to feel a little pride in the fact that we're going to not have a rookie come out and have a big game against her.
Jewel Lloyd steps back, hits the long two. We've talked about Breanna Stewart, a great rookie in the league this year. Jewel Lloyd is the reigning rookie of the year in the WNBA, and she's had some big performances this season so far. A couple of 30-point games against the Phoenix Mercury. Thomas looking for space, driving, shot hit the underneath part of the rim. Stewart comes away with the rebound. She had 17 rebounds last time out. Nice pass from Bird to Langhorne, and she scores, and a possible three-point play for the Storm. You know, Sue Bird looks rejuvenated this year, doesn't she?
She certainly does. It's one of those, you can watch the replay coming in, the nice assist by Bird, and a muscle-up play by Langhorne in there. I think a lot of that, she's a veteran. I think that's the beauty that the Storm are fortunate enough to have. You have those young players like Stewart and Lloyd in the mix right there, that you have that, she feels that energy too of young blood coming in and they want to play. So she has that niceness where she can provide more of the veteran that thing than they can provide the youth, and together it can blend very well. Alex
Bentley hits the jumper from the left side. And so it's a one-point game. Seattle on top, 5-4. Here's Bird giving for Langhorne. Clark has it on the wing. Lloyd works off of the Langhorne screen on the pick and roll. Langhorne takes the pass and lays it through.
Difficulty on the defense there. Talk communication. How are they going to play that screen and roll on the high screen?
Kelsey Bone bodying up on Stewart. Ducks in, scoops it up. Doesn't go down. Stewart rips down another rebound. Here is Bird up the sideline. The handoff for Lloyd. The step back, the give for Stewart. Bird turns the corner and fires and drills it home. 9-4 Seattle.
Twice in a row they've scored off that high screen. This time Sue Bird, they chose to play down below. She can hit that foul line jumper consistently, and you're going to need to step up and guard that.
Alyssa Thomas on the baseline. Here's Little. Little in the paint. She steps through and draws the foul, and Camille Little will go to the line to shoot a couple. Kurt Miller spent a lot of time after the loss against Indiana talking about how the game in this league is won at the point of attack. In other words, you need to defend that pick and roll, and the Sun, the last time down for Seattle, didn't do it successfully.
It seems that it's been a reoccurring theme that I've noticed in the home games. They haven't done that against past teams, and right away, it's two times in a row offensively they've scored off that, whether it's been passing it down to the post player or the pull-up jumper by the guard that's coming off the high screen.
Little had 9 points, couple of blocks, 6 rebounds in a loss against the Fever. Makes a couple of free throws for a Sun team that has struggled from the free throw line this season. Only 68.5% as a team, which is 12 out of 12 in the league. Lloyd for Bird. Flips it over for Lloyd. That's a three-pointer. Rims out. Jasmine Thomas soars in for the rebound. She's averaging over 4 rebounds a game. Little on top. Fires the three. Good look. Long rebound. Alyssa Thomas. Reset for the Sun, who are down 6 early here in the first quarter. Jazz Thomas veers to the left. Bentley up top. Shoots over Lloyd. Side rim. And the chase down by Thomas, then lost it out of bounds. And it will belong to Seattle.
It looked like it was off on time. So great hustle by her. That's almost the second offensive rebound she picked up in one possession right there. Sun need to find a way, if they're not going to be hitting their shots, find some easy opportunities, get a second and third opportunity, crash the boards. The Storm at this point don't look like other than Breanna Stewart, they really don't have a rebounder. They rely on guards to help out.
Langhorne holding, looking, bouncing for Stewart. Tough running shot, doesn't go down, and Alyssa Thomas, another rebound for her. Pitch out, Bentley. Little goes down low and threw it away. Bone was tapping her chest as if to say it was my bad. What did you see transpire there?
I actually was curious where she was thinking to throw it to, because either maybe she and Bone had a play that she was going to spin off of it and go up for, it's almost like an alley-oop. Maybe that's where the my bad came in. Otherwise, there wasn't a Sun shirt around.
Bird, Langhorne in the double team, finds Bird, swishes it through. Sue Bird is feeling it early in this game. A couple of field goals in a row for the 35-year-old in her 15th year in the league.
And usually she likes to distribute the ball, but she knows she's going to read what the defense gives her.
11-6, Seattle has the lead. Bentley, tough shot, doesn't go down. Rebound tipped around, deflected to Bentley. Sun keep it, and then the rejection. That was Lloyd who came away with the block, and Thomas drives and misses, and Clark rebounds. Bird for Stewart. Tosses for Clark. That's a three-pointer. That's way off the mark. Bentley, no look, ahead for Thomas. Thomas kicks up. Bone, open look, knocks it down.
Good decision by Thomas right there. Drive the lane, draw some defenders right there. Don't force it. Spot up, you see Bone right there, hit the open person.
Bone has 4. Sun down 3. Lloyd a 2. Jasmine Thomas has another rebound. The Sun point guard loops it ahead for a little dangerous pass, and it was indeed taken away by a Langhorne. Bird, the stutter step, the penetration, got off the shot. And the rebound belongs to Bone. Pitches ahead Bentley, couple of dribbles and lets it fly. Langhorne rebounds the miss.
Neither team shooting the ball very well right now. It's unfortunate that Storm have been missing a lot. Their offense looks a little out of sync as well. Unfortunately, Sun keep turning the ball over. They need to kind of capitalize on the opportunities.
Clark along the baseline. Stewart, the 3, rims in and out. Well, Brianna Stewart still hasn't scored in her first game as a pro here at the Mohegan Sun. Bentley draws the foul. She'll go to shoot 2 after being fouled on the reach-in by Sue Bird. And that'll follow this timeout. 4:06 to go. We're in the first quarter at the Mohegan Sun. The Storm lead the Sun 11-8 on WNBA League Pass. You see your score with the Storm leading the Sun more than midway through this first quarter. Some numbers of note at our first timeout. Debbie, Brianna Stewart has taken 3 shots. She's had some pretty good looks, but she is 0 for 3 so far. And the Sun they haven't found their shooting stroke at all yet in this game. 3 for 11. So at the very early checkpoint in this game, the Sun shooting below 30%.
Right, and not a good start necessarily as far as the shot dropping, but they are getting good looks. It hasn't been forced shots or in bad tempo. So some of that you wonder, we say you got to play with the emotion of the crowd, but then it almost gets you too hyped a little bit and you're playing a little faster. So maybe after that timeout, you're settled a little bit, and they can come out and off of that find a way to score.
This will be the biggest crowd of the season so far for the Sun. You see Kurt Miller there, flanked by his assistant Steve Smith and Nikki Collin. Here's Alex Bentley out of the timeout, getting a couple of free throws after being fouled by Sue Bird. And Alex makes the first. No secret, the Sun need Alex Bentley and Kelsey Bone to regain their all-star form of last year.
Especially in a matchup with a guard like Jewel Lloyd. Bentley has drawn the player that defends her. That's a match that you need. That's a tough player to guard, and you need somebody that's going to step up defensively.
Sun have scored 4 straight in this game to make it a 1-point game. Stewart, the handoff for Lloyd. The new player in the game for Seattle is Ramo Tokoski, who misses her first shot. Thomas, good pass for Bone. She did a good job running the floor, Debbie, and she's rewarded, and the Sun have the lead.
See a little rejuvenation in her tonight. She seems that maybe the couple days off did some good to her body.
Yeah, she has 6 early points, and the Sun on a run of 6 unanswered. They have a 1-point lead. Bird backs up, bouncing around, leaves for Stewart, hands it off for Bird. Had a knock loose, regained, and Sue Bird continues to stroke it through. She is 3 for 4 in the game. She has 6, and she gives Seattle the 1-point lead. Well, For the miss, Stewart has another rebound. Bukowski was a all-rookie team selection last year in the WNBA. Stewart now 0 for 4 after missing that 3. I think she's feeling the nerves a little bit.
Maybe a little bit, and she can make that shot, and he's made it well. And once again, that was a high screen on that pop out. They don't play the screen down low. She's going to be open. So curious to see how those nerves settle as the game goes if she starts making some of those shots.
Defensive 3 seconds is called. So that's a technical foul and a free throw coming up here for Alex Bentley.
It's interesting we say with Stewart in her career as a college player, she's always been known to show up for the big games. It's one of those, it's never always consistent, but when it comes to those, big NCAA championship games or the Elite Eight, anything, she's always played well. So I wouldn't know if it's necessarily the nerves that are coming here. She knows she has a lot of fans here, but for some reason she's not in rhythm right now, which helps out the Sun as they're trying not to figure out how to play that high screen and roll defending it.
The technical free throw made by Bentley ties the game at 13. Chinea Gwumike in the game now as Bowen has that pass from Thomas deflected out of bounds by Seattle. Gwumike replaced Camille Little. Now another substitution as Jonquel Jones replaces Kelsey Bowen, who played well.
She did play well, and you appreciate that as a coach. You're like, okay, come out, get a little breather. We'll get you in there. You work hard. You earn that little time to come out.
Bentley, high arcing shot, doesn't go. Bird in traffic brings it down, and here is Sue Bird. Lloyd, Stewart. Stewart working on Jonquel Jones, shoots over her, misses, and remains 0 for the night. But on the deflection, Stewart gets it back. Bird, the one bounce for Stewart. And Lloyd is open. The 3 is good. That breaks the tie, and Jewel Lloyd now has 5.
Good ball movement by the Storm right there. Push the Sun to try to figure out how well they're going to cover all sides of the floor.
Thomas for Gwumike, and Bukowski knocked it away.
Some good offense running by the Sun right there. Right at the execution there, they need to get those screens to hit more. So that means either the offensive player has to run off closer so he can get that free, but she was open, but they didn't nail the screener soon enough.
Jazz Thomas for Bentley. She drives hard, pulls up, looking to create the shot. Not there. Stewart, yet another rebound. She's not shooting the ball well in this game, but by my count, she has 5 early rebounds. That's an unofficial number. Stat monitor at the sideline here, not working for us just yet tonight. We'll be fine without it. As Clark puts up the 3, not there. Bentley does a good job fighting off Lloyd for the rebound. Feeds it ahead for Thomas. Driving on Bird, lays it up too hard. Strong rebound. Gwumike stripped by Tokowski, and Bird and the Storm come away with it. Bird finds the open player. That was Lloyd. One extra pass for Bird, and Sue Bird keeps pouring it on. Sue Bird hits the 3, and that leads to a Sun timeout. We'll keep it right here with 1:07 to go in this first quarter. So everybody was talking about Breanna Stewart, the sensational rookie. We didn't talk as much about Sue Bird, but she's been the story in this first quarter.
Has. And what's nice about her, and I respect that point guard position. I may be a little biased to it, but it's that point guard, such a vital position to the team and how you run it. And what she's doing, she's keeping the game simple. It's not about doing all this fancy or trying to come up with a acrobatic move. It's all right, they're going to play me here. I'm passing wide. Jewel Lloyd runs the lane well, and I'll keep it wide. Breanna Stewart, put her in a good position. A good player, a good point guard makes everybody around them successful because they give them to the ball in the right place. She decides, all right, I'll step up and shoot it because they're not guarding me. So the Storm are very fortunate to have that veteran in Sue Bird. You can say she's a 35-year-old woman, but she's looking right now that she's just the answer that they need. Yeah, and when you talk about Sue Bird and you need the good point guard, you're not talking about a good point guard. You're talking about perhaps the greatest to ever play the position in this league. I did understate that, didn't I? When I was saying that. We're talking about an Olympic player. Now, by means of introduction, this is game 3. Debbie, I should reintroduce you to our audience. You are a former point guard for the University of Connecticut, and you are a radio analyst for UConn basketball during the winter. So you were a predecessor to Sue Bird, and then you had the privilege of watching Breanna Stewart her entire career. Yes.
as a Husky.
Definitely a joy. Great job by the Sun. You come out of that timeout, find a way to score and go down low, make it an easy 2.
For Morgan Tuck, who just checked into the game during that timeout. Kelly Farris is into the game. Here is Bird, and we have a hold in the post. The play was blown dead on that Connecticut foul, their 4th. Sinead Guamake picks up the foul. As she held Stewart, who has 4 rebounds. No points. I had said 5 earlier unofficially. That's why I said
I think you're pretty close. Pretty close, yes.
10 to shoot. 40 seconds to go in the quarter. Bird. Bukowski has it knocked away. On top for Lloyd. Backs up, shoots. Not there. And the Sun, down by 4, bring it out of the backcourt. 5-second difference. Shot clock to the game clock. Kelly Farris. Stopping, bouncing. Ogwumike throws across. 8 to shoot, so Thomas does it. Jasmine Thomas hits the jumper, and it's a 2-point game with 10 seconds to go in the quarter.
And what we have seen before, Kurt Miller likes to bring that group off the bench. Thomas, the only one that is a starter in there to get it done, and a little energy. They've done a good job.
Well, there's one of the few shots that has not fallen for Sue Bird.
She had an eye on the clock, too. I think she realized, okay, I wouldn't necessarily take it, but I know there's a 10th of a second left, or 5/10 seconds to go.
The Sun don't bother to shoot as the horn brings a good first quarter to an end. Entertaining game to watch so far. The Sun didn't shoot the ball particularly well, but they're playing hard, and as Debbie said in one of her keys, rising to the moment so far in a good game. A 2-point game. Seattle leads it at the end of 1 over Connecticut, 19 to 17 on WNBA League Pass. Game for the Sun here at the Mohegan Sun Arena Tuesday night against the Washington Mystics as we come back from the timeout. Second quarter underway. Morgan Tuck feeding Jones, rookie to rookie, and Jones scores to tie the game at 19. Another run for the Sun, 6 unanswered.
Smile on Thomas's face. I think she liked how that played out too. Good for her to build her confidence.
Bukowski deep on the perimeter. Clark for Jenna O'Hay. 5 to shoot. And Clark throws it away. Farris on the intercept. Gives for Tuck. Strong drive. Didn't finish. Rebound taken down by Jones. Sun doing a good job on the backboard here as Thomas to Tuck. Jones guarded tightly by Tokowski, so she got rid of it, and Farris couldn't knock down the jumper. We're all even early here in the second quarter, Debbie.
They didn't get rewarded for their efforts right there, but you keep playing that way. That's going to help out the Sun. And a lot of that offense right there, the opportunities started from the defensive end. It was a great talk between Tuck and Farris on how to play that high screen and roll we talked about. They drop back, and she picks up a steal.
Tie game. The Sun trying to regain the lead after falling behind by 6. They've answered back with 6 straight as Tuck driving strong, got off the shot, and she was fouled. Morgan Tuck with a strong drive to the hoop, beat a couple of defenders, and now a possible 3-point play.
Look at the replay coming in here right now, backing her player down in there, really squeezes in between 2 defenders. They thought they had a good job defending it. And Morgan Tuck, known to just have a nose for the basket, knows how to find a way to get the ball up on the rim. Nicely done.
A lot of people, of course, were talking to Morgan Tuck about her reunion with her longtime teammate and good friend, Breanna Stewart. I'm sure Tuck is feeling the emotion tonight with all of her former teammates. I know Gina Wariem is in the house tonight.
Yes,
Jenna O'Hay missing.
Connecticut people.
Loose ball foul off of that miss. Well, yeah, big crowd here tonight. A big UConn contingent. 5 Huskies on the collective rosters here tonight.
Yeah, definitely a.
And here's one of them coming back in. Sue Bird is reporting back in.
She will always be a fan favorite, Sue Bird, for any UConn Husky fan.
O'Hay bumped off the play. It's a turnover, and here come the Sun looking to extend this run, but a turnover. Seattle has it back. The Sun are on a 9-0 run to take their largest lead of this game, which stands at 3. A couple of minutes gone by in quarter 2. Bird lets it fly. Front rim that time. Farris has the rebound. Here is Kelly taking to the wing. And Tuck couldn't handle the pass. Pass was a little offline.
Right, I don't think Tuck was expecting it. Kelly was driving the lane. She thought she was going straight to the basket.
Sue Bird hit a 3 for Seattle with a little more than a minute to go in the second quarter. Seattle hasn't scored since.
And they were a little shooting drought as well, or a scoring drought.
They've been stuck on 19 here. Haven't scored yet here in the second quarter. And that Sun foul stops the clock here. 7:33 to go in this second quarter, and it'll be a side out of bounds for the Storm. And O'Hay gives it for Bird. Bird's open, and Sue Bird hits another 3. That ends the drought. Last time that the Storm had scored, Bird hit a 3 with a little more than a minute to go in the second quarter, and hits one here in quarter 2. Those are the first points of the quarter for Seattle. It ties this game at 22, and here's Bird again. She already has 12 points in this game. Season high is 17.
Interesting. I think she's just doing what the defense gives her, and usually it's been Stewart or Jewel Lloyd for the Storm that are the ones that are the scoring leaders. They average 16 and 14 points respectively, but Sue Bird can score if she's called on.
Rachel Banham threw the pass, and Kelly Farris missed the shot. So Banham is in there now for the Sun as Bird takes to the top on the switch of Wumake out. Bird finds O'Hay, the pump fake, the drive, and she's successful on the layup to break the tie. Seattle on top again by a couple.
It seems that the matchups defensively right now aren't quite in sync for the Sun. It's not that talent-wise they aren't, but it's just a little out of sync on how the Storm are running their offense.
Banham thought that was going to go down when she released it on the long rebound. Bird, head up, tripped. Morgan Tuck on the foul. So off that long rebound, Bird brought it into the front court, and Tuck with the inadvertent foot in her way.
It's one of those fouls that you hate as a player because yes, they end up being a trip, but you want to make it count. You want to actually be trying to foul somebody if you're going to get called for it.
Third team foul already on the Sun. There's a little more than 6 minutes to go in the first half. Bird floats it down for Stewart, still looking for her first points in the game. Clark, baseline, floater, missed everything. Ogwumike, the rebound. Here is Banham across midcourt. Kelsey Bone back in the game for Connecticut. Measuring Langhorne, rolls out, loose ball foul. Let's see what we've got. It's going to go against Connecticut.
From our view, I couldn't get the view of that.
Well, they called Chinea Ogwumike on this loose ball foul as they got her there pushing out on Stewart, who pleaded her case successfully, and it brings us to a timeout. 5:41 to go in the first half. Storm lead the Sun 24-22 on WNBA League Pass. For something to do with the entire family, young or old, everyone needs something to do this summer. How about the Sun Family Pack? Comes with 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, 4 popcorn, and 4 sodas. Just $60. Family fun at an affordable price. 877-SUN-TIXX. Well, Sue Bird, 12 points tonight as she makes one of her many, many returns to the Mohegan Sun Arena. She's been coming here since 2003. Brianna Stewart scoreless, 0 for 5 from the field. And her first game as a pro here in Connecticut. Sun trail it by 2.
Seeing from the Sun so far, some good stuff. Again, they're just not being able to connect right now to make the shots. 31% overall for the game.
Traveling violation on Stewart, so it goes back to Connecticut. Backcourt shooting has been a problem so far for the Sun. Their starting backcourt, to be specific. Alex Bentley, Jasmine Thomas, a combined 2 for 10.
Well, make it tough, and that'll explain those numbers that are 8 for 26 overall.
Banham for Agumake. Found her in a good spot, Debbie.
Right there, and Agumake did a lot of good work in there early to get down that low in the paint. Tough to stop anybody if you get that low position.
Bird for Lloyd. Farris defending it nicely. Deflection to Bird. That's Lloyd with 5 to shoot for Stewart. Passes out of the double team. Extra pass from Bird to Clark. The 3 rims out, and the Sun out of the ball. Banham getting some extended time here in the second quarter. The rookie out of Minnesota hands it off for Agumake. Dribbles to her right. Hands off Farris. Farris has her pass deflected. Nice job by Lloyd to read the pass. And then the hard foul given up by Farris. And the Sun are already in the penalty with 4:27 to go in this first half.
Farris knew the right way to, just trying to get that tip from behind. She knew that she was going to pick up the foul. But I think Farris right there, that nice the screen and roll there, had the right idea. But when you're that pass right there, it needed to be very high and looping because that's right where all the hands are defensively. I like the idea of Agumake and Bone playing together, that we haven't seen a lot of that combination. It's usually been one in and the other one out, or vice versa. They're playing nicely off each other. As you had mentioned, not hitting well from the outside. Maybe try to get that ball inside the post more, find some more opportunities for that.
Lloyd, one of the top free throw shooters in the league, made 1 out of 2. 25-24, Seattle. Well, it's good to see Shakina Strickland back on the floor. She's missed several games with a knee injury. But off of the miss, Stewart, good pass for Lloyd. Missed the layup. That was a 0-footer for Lloyd.
A beautiful bounce pass.
So Strickland back on the floor and away from the ball. We have another defensive 3-second violation.
Defensive 3-second violation.
Well, Rachel Banham will go to the line to shoot the free throw. Her 3rd free throw attempt of the season. And that's her first miss.
I'm sure she's not happy with that. And again, nobody is perfect, but that's a player who prideful in that she's a good free throw shooter. So you like to take those easy give-me's.
Oh, he mentioned there are 5 collective, 5 Huskies on the collective rosters, and one of them is just reported in. Kalina Mosqueda-Lewis is on the floor.
That was loud. That hurt my ears, Bob.
You have the headphones on. Heard a lot of loud cheers here tonight. Strickland driving, doesn't go. Strickland, former member of the Seattle Storm, with them for 3 seasons. Here's Langhorne on Bone. The toss for Bird. Fires away. And Sue Bird knocks down another jumper. She has 14 points.
Just nice and steady.
Just in the flow of the game.
Yeah. Game simple and pulling up and feeling well, feeling the stroke.
Strickland to Bone. The pump fake working on Stewart. O'Hay came over to help, and then the foul. There's some pretty aggressive motion there in the post on the part of both the offensive player Bone and the defenders on this play. Stewart, look at that, and then O'Hay comes in strong on the close. And
I feel you, and in person, boy, that really was a really big collision there. And surprised Stewart didn't go on the flying on the ground there. Good job by Bone to be physically tough and use that size of hers to muscle it down low.
Rachel Banham and Kelly Farris checked out. Bone sets and looks to make it 2 out of 2 on this trip. 1 out of 2 makes it a 2-point game. A little more than 3 minutes to go in this first half. It's been a great first half for the 15-year pro Sue Bird. Just for Langhorne, she's a former All-Star. Misfires on that jump shot. Bentley whips the pass into the corner. Thomas down low. Bone in good position. Got off the shot, and she'll go to the line.
I sound like I'm repeating myself, but I like what Bone is doing this evening. She really is working hard down low. You see her getting position, and with her size, she should be able to dominate down there.
Well, we'll take a timeout to get the replay. Leading you into the timeout, Kelsey Bone going up strong, and she'll shoot 2 when we come back on WNBA League Pass. Huddling up out of the timeout, 2:49 to go in the first half. Seattle leads Connecticut 27-25. Jenny Busek, the head coach of the Storm, and her team has embarked with this game on the start of a 4-game road trip. They'll also play at Indiana, San Antonio, and Dallas. Seattle and Connecticut, 2 of the youngest teams in the league. The Storm last year, just 10 wins, but looking to make progress now after last year. They had the Rookie of the Year in Jewel Lloyd, and right now you'd have to say that Breanna Stewart will be the presumptive Rookie of the Year at this point.
Pretty good chance the way she's starting out, and it's their #1 draft pick, so has been living up to the bill of everything that she is supposed to be up to this point.
Bone again makes 1 out of 2. 27-26 Seattle. Stewart has yet to score in this game. She has the ball right now. Flips it out for Mosqueda Lewis. Finds an open O'Hay, and O'Hay hits the 3. That's her 8th three-pointer of the season, and she hits them at a high percentage, close to 50% on the year, and makes it a 4-point game. Bone gets for Bentley, and Bone takes it back. 5 to shoot. Not a good play here for the Sun, as they do find Strickland for the open 3. Kurt Miller preaches against not having the ball stick. Right there wasn't the good ball movement for the Sun in that possession.
Sometimes you just need the ball to be a little more crisp and a little more quickly passed around. Push the pressure on the offensive team, or the defensive team.
Seattle by 4, under 2 to go, and Bird lets it go and hits another 3. Sue Bird hits her 3rd 3 of the first half, and she has already in 1 half matched her season high. She has 17, and the Sun call for a timeout.
I think Coach Miller right there is quick to call that, because I'm sure it's the idea we cannot give Sue Bird any breathing room. Take a look at the play right here on they're wide open on rotation, so not even knowing like where she is. And a lot of that times when you're trying to get stretched out, she's proven that she's feeling it this evening. Can't give her any breathing space.
Sue Bird has come into the Mohegan Sun Arena and just lit the place up. She has now made 7 of 10 field goals, 3 of 4 from behind the stripe.
Looking very relaxed. She's not taxed at all. It's just kind of in the flow of the game and doing her thing.
Well, one of your keys for Connecticut was responding to the moment. Well, Sue Bird.
The wrong player's responding. We need to
yeah.
Storm is responding. We want to see a little more Connecticut Sun.
Bird in particular. No surprise there, though.
No,
Bentley,
there isn't.
Ogwumike. That is Bone. That's a good play out of the timeout.
That's the 2nd time they've done that. They've come out of the timeout before each time, and they go through that play, and it's worked for them. So trying, again, you want to try to just keep on going. Go with what works. Don't get fancy. Keep it simple.
Mosqueda Lewis. Bird. Stewart lets it fly. Well, she's now 0 for 6 in this game. O'Hay, though, runs it down and threw it away. And then the Sun miscommunicate. Thomas knocked it away from Ogwumike, and Langhorne cleaned it up and scored.
And that is unfortunate. That's right there. Ogwumike ready to grab it, and Thomas just, going for the ball, not really being aware of her surroundings. And that's what you tell you. You're trying to hustle, and the ball bouncing the other way. Easy pickup for the Storm. So here you go. The Sun have been contended right there. 2-point game back and forth. Your question right now, it's a 7-point game. Not let it get any further. Find a way to stop a run.
Strickland to Ogwumike, driving hard. The runner doesn't go. Stewart on the back tap, right to Thomas, floats it up, doesn't go, and Stewart this time secures the rebound. Here's it for Bird. 20 to shoot, 35 to go in the half. Bird, Langhorne. Mosqueda Lewis works off the screen, down the lane, laid it up, off the rim, Strickland a rebound. Shot clock, game clock, virtually the same. Bentley pull-up jump. It's not happening right now for Alex Bentley. Now Sue Bird and the Storm can hold for the last shot of the half. They have a 7-point lead at the moment. 5 seconds to go in the half. Bird for a rolling Langhorne with the left hand. She hit it and she was fouled. This is not the way the Sun wanted to end this first half.
Because they have played so well. They really have been. And as you watch the replay here, Sue Bird getting it done, finding the open, slashing Langhorne to the basket. Definite foul there. Good call by the official.
Well, Langhorne makes the 3-point play. Horn sounds and a disappointing finish late first half for the Connecticut Sun. It was a 2-point game with a little more than 3 minutes to go in the half. And now at the half, the Sun find themselves down by 10. Your halftime score, Seattle 38 and the Sun 28. When we come back, halftime coverage from the Mohegan Sun after this timeout on WNBA League Pass. To the start of the second half. Well, the Sun are down 10 at the half, 38-28 as we bring back in Debbie Fisk. And look at that box score here at the half, Debbie. And of course, the number that jumps out at you is 17. Sue Bird, leading scorer in the game.
Sue Bird doing a great job, and it's just been whatever the defense has given her, and she has been lighting it up, feeling very confident from the 3-point line, but we've also seen her play off the dribble. You look at Langhorne, also has 10 points for down low with 3 rebounds. And O'Hay for the 5 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists for the Storm. Over on the Sun side, you see Bone leading the way with 10 points and 2 rebounds. She's done a good job down low. Hopefully, the Sun can look to try to get more opportunity for her. And Bentley and Tuck with 5 points each. And you just look at Thomas right there. Jay Thomas with 6 rebounds, leading the way. And Ogumake 2 points, 3 rebounds. Doing okay on there, but they really have had struggled shooting the ball. So right now, that the idea that 10 for 35, 29% overall, while you have the Storm shooting 41%, they need to find a way to match that. And they did a pretty good job for a majority of the half. It was the last 3 minutes they just couldn't close out. And that's unfortunate where that young team that we talk about, it's tough when you let those little gaps run. It wasn't a 22-2 run or anything in that nature, but it needs mental toughness when it comes down to those stretches that you really can't let that get away from you.
Talk about the shooting numbers in that first half. Look at Sue Bird and Crystal Langhorne. You don't see these numbers, but they were combined 11 for 16. Langhorne 4 for 5 from the field, and Sue Bird 7 for 10 from the field. She made 3 of her 4 3-pointers. More than offset the off night so far for the player affectionately known around these parts as Stewie. Brianna Stewart 0 for 6, no points yet in her return to Connecticut. The Sun shooting just 29% in that first half, and the backcourt shooting in particular was a problem. The starting backcourt a combined 2 for 13. Jasmine Thomas 1 for 5, and Alex Bentley still trying to get her offensive game on track. She missed 7 of her 8 field goal attempts in that first half. The Sun, though, were right there late in the first half, down only 1 point with around 2 minutes to go, and then big run by Seattle to end the first half. Not a good start there for the Sun as Seattle comes away with it off of the turnover, and Clark fires away.
Both teams open up with 2 misses. Good for the Sun because now it's just like getting the possession on first. They need to get a little bit better than that turnover they had first possession.
Camille Little down the lane, much too hard with the left hand. Stewart has her 8th rebound, fires ahead for Bird. No look, 1 bounce. Clark lays it up, lays it in. Pretty assist from Bird, and Clark finishes, and the lead is 12 for Seattle.
Sun right now, go to what has worked for them. Find a way on ball movement, get Kelsey Bone moving on a screen down low.
Alyssa Thomas not in a good position.
Behind the backboard there, not a way to actually get the ball down low. You need to be inside in good position when you receive the ball.
Stewart to Lloyd, nice reach in by Jazz Thomas. Almost came away with the steal. Stays alive for Stewart. Pushed off, fell down. We play on. Stewart looking to get rid of it and is granted a timeout. 2 seconds on the shot clock when that timeout was called. A 20-second timeout called by the Storm. Surprised that they didn't blow the whistle on this one?
Yeah, I just wonder, it could have been an offensive foul too at that point. Sometimes with both players moving, it necessarily might have been called on Stewart right there.
You know, the amazing thing is the contact was so hard on that play that Stewart
Both
ended
players.
up going down. I mean, it was kind of like a
Brick
7-second
wall.
delay there, and then bam, she realized she had hit that brick wall.
Those two players had a lot of contact, a lot of physicality down low there, and I like what I'm seeing from Bowen, and the fact that she has that mentality. It looks like that I'm going to push through there and not get a little bump to dissuade her from going down further.
Well, 2 to shoot for the Storm. Let's see what they do out of the timeout. Goes to Bird. Got a good look and, of course, knocked it down. And now she has a season-high 19 points. And it's 42-28 Seattle. Alex Bentley finally hits a tough shot. Step-back jumper, only her second made field goal. Those are the first points of the third quarter for the Sun.
Much needed basket by Bentley.
Bird open again. She's feeling it, but not that time. And Alyssa Thomas has the rebound. A 2-on-3. Now a 3-on-3. And Thomas 1-on-1. Missed it. Got it back. Put it through.
Second chance opportunity. Stay with it. Don't give up.
Those are the first 2 for Alyssa Thomas. She had 20 last Sunday against Indiana. Bird, a few foot fakes. Stewart sets the screen. She feeds her in the post, working on Alyssa to the left hand. Not there.
Nice hook shot right there. And again, Stewart yet to have a point, but she's doing a lot of things, drawing a lot of attention that's been helping her teammates.
Now 0 for 7 from the field. Bentley for Little. Flips up the 3. And Camille Little hits the 3. Former member of the Seattle Storm, and that extends what has become a nice run here for the Sun. They're down by 7.
Yeah, first 3 of the evening for the Sun.
They were 0 for 7 in the first half from behind the stripe. Turnover. Little on the steal. And the bounce for Jasmine Thomas. And now the Sun are starting to show a little life.
Sometimes all it takes is someone to hit a shot, and then it just kind of opens the door and everything else, and it's contagious. One player feeds off another.
9-0 run for the Sun to get right back in the game. Down by 5. Under 7 to go here in the third quarter. Bird picks it up. Lloyd feeding Clark. And that's a big shot there by Clark. It stops a 9-0 run by Connecticut. A 3-pointer to make it 45-37 Storm.
Nice 3-pointer. She's done a good job of just a couple baskets here and there when her team needs her.
She had 23 points in their loss against New York on Sunday. Bone had it knocked away by Stewart, but deflected out to Little. 7 to shoot. And then Bentley threw a bad pass that Stewart had an easy time picking off. Gives for Langhorne right down the lane. Offensive foul will go back the other way. So Crystal Langhorne on the turnover for Seattle.
You see on there, oh, plenty of time. Yes, definitely, good call. Establish yourself early and Storm bowled over.
So Seattle opened a 14-point lead in the opening minutes of this third quarter. The Sun have fought back, down by 8. Janaea Gulmake is into the game now for Kelsey Bone. That's Jasmine Thomas, guarded by Sue Bird. Alyssa Thomas spinning into the paint. Good move. Shot doesn't go, and Stewart has another rebound. She now has 9 rebounds. No points, but she's been active.
Shouldn't be that hard to score for the Sun. That has to be a one-on-one move every time down the floor. Need to get a little more trust in that ball movement to make it a little bit easier.
Lloyd has it taken away. Jasmine Thomas and Alyssa Thomas double team on the pick. And now Bentley misfires again. It goes out of bounds, and it belongs to Seattle. So a long night for Alex Bentley continues. She is now 2 for 11 from the field.
Again, you always look at the bright spot there. And for the Sun, they had 5 orange shirts crashing the boards, and unfortunately the ball didn't bounce their way. They're doing everything right in that possession, just not getting the end result they want.
Stewart bouncing for Bird. The fake, the drive, the pullback, and she does it again. And now she has a 21-point game going. 21 and counting for Bird, who just got picked off the play. And the Sun turned it over. Bird is saying,
waving
no,
off.
no, 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 I'm fine. I wouldn't want to come out if I were her.
She just wasn't happy with what you're talking to the official right now. Like, come on, you got to call that illegal screen. On the other part, she's going to go back to the huddle and yell at her teammate, "Tell me the screen's there, please. You need to call that," so she doesn't get whiplash effect.
She got leveled there by Camille Little, and we're going to take a timeout. 5:07 to go in this third quarter. Storm lead it by 10 on League Pass.
Something to do with the entire family.
Score almost midway through the third quarter. Seattle leads Connecticut 47-37. Now that we're playing a balanced schedule in the WNBA, these two teams will meet 3 times. It used to be that Eastern Conference would play Western Conference only 2 times, and now with the balanced schedule, one more game to come between these two clubs. They'll play that on June 24th in Seattle.
Couple substitutions made by the Sun right now. Morgan Tuck in and actually guarding up against Stewie.
Alyssa Thomas almost came away with the steal. Gonna have a hold away from the play. Let's see what Jeff Smith's got. Morgan Tuck on the hold.
Second personal and first team foul of the quarter.
Clark will trigger. For a Storm team that is 1-2 on the road this year. The Sun winless at home, 0-4 at the Mohegan Sun. Sue Bird bouncing for Tukowski, who drives and has it stuffed by Glumake, and then it rolls out of bounds.
Good team defense by the Sun right there, and that was really with nowhere to go. It was the idea, help defense, and Morgan Tuck playing that beautifully.
Sun are down by 10. An uphill climb here in this third quarter after the Storm ended the first half on a strong run, and Morgan Tuck beating her buddy Brianna Stewart on a nice looking layup to make it an 8-point game.
Morgan Tuck's so good at just getting under defenders right there. Can be outsized and still knows a way to get it up on the rim.
Monica Wright in the game now for Seattle, and she lost it.
I think Alyssa Thomas sold that very well. She had a tip on there, and she said, "Going down. You were the last one to touch it."
Seattle by 8. A little more than 4 minutes to go in this third quarter. Thomas threw the foul. Didn't go, but she'll head to the line now to shoot a couple.
Strong aggressive move. Strong aggressive move by Thomas. As soon as she catches it, she's thinking attack mode, get to the basket, and drew the foul. If you're not being able to hit from the outside, the idea is to attack and try to get a couple chances to get to the free throw line.
Jenny Busek, second year head coach with Seattle. And here is Thomas trying to make it 2 out of 2. And by doing so, she makes this a 6-point game. So what was once a 14-point deficit for the Sun, down to 6, Seattle ball. Here is Wright, like her head coach, an alumnus of the University of Virginia. Bird works off of the Stewart screen. Stewart pops up, 4 to shoot. Stewart loses the handle. Bentley the steal, 2-on-1. Bentley will take it herself and misses it, and Clark has the rebound. Bird, double team. Tukowski couldn't handle the pass. It's loose. It's picked up by Glumake. Ahead for Tuck, 2-on-1. Tuck has a poke loose, but Wright on the foul. Gets called on the reach in.
You see a little rejuvenation here by Thomas. Thomas looking very part of that defense right there that brought up the play to have Tuck look like she took a nice collision right there too on the reach in by the Storm. You need to see that life in those little plays, and usually we've seen it from Kelly Ferris coming in and getting it, but Alyssa Thomas starting that mode, and again it picks up and she looks hungry. She wanted the ball right there. You can see where she's asking for it.
Tough shot off of the glass, doesn't go for Alyssa Thomas. Stewart has 10 rebounds now, no points, but double digits in the rebounding column. Having trouble with the handle there, but it'll be a Connecticut foul.
If you watch the play develop right there, Stewart ended up drawing 3 3 Connecticut Sun jerseys. If you see as she's going in, there's 1, there's 2, there's 3, everybody converging. That's how much attention that she brings. So the idea right now, she didn't know it has to pick the ball up sooner, but she's going to be able to dish to anybody, and that's what her value is. Even though she's not scoring, she's making potential plays for her teammates.
Langhorne scoops it up, scoops it through. Crystal Langhorne, 9th year in the league out of Maryland, a 2-time All-Star, makes it an 8-point game with under 3 to go in this third quarter. Morgan Tuck, that's a 3, and Morgan Tuck drills home a 3, only the second 3 of the game for the Sun. 5-point advantage for Seattle, 49-44.
Right there, great play on the high screen roll there. The Storm didn't have a look. We were saying that in the first half where they weren't able to cover that. Nice job by Tuck and Alyssa Thomas right there playing it well. Fortunately, down low, there was a foul.
Second personal foul, team foul number 3.
3 on the Sun, 2 on the Storm. 2:27 to go in the quarter as Alicia Clark is for Bird. She has 21 points tonight. A season high for her. Clark loops it for Stewart, and then Agumake defended. So the Storm will have 6 seconds to shoot on the inbound.
You can see the Connecticut Sun putting pressure on Seattle right now. You get them a little rattled because they're not, all of a sudden they're not able to score easy either.
Clark on the baseline inbound, had it knocked away. The Storm over the years, we're talking about some good Seattle teams that have come into this arena and struggled. Only 3-10 lifetime on the road against the Sun. Well, you hear the cheer there. A lot of people here tonight to come out and watch Breanna Stewart, who just scored her first field goal as a pro here inside the Mohegan Sun Arena. Morgan Tuck has another 3. So after Stewart scores, her former teammate on Connecticut, Morgan Tuck, answers right back. Tuck's having a good third quarter. She has 8 third quarter points.
And how about her knowing where that 3-point line? That's just step back and saying, all right, I catch the ball, regroup, and shoot the 3. That is definitely a weapon of hers, a 3-point shot.
We had a couple of defensive 3 seconds on Seattle earlier in this game, and now the Connecticut Sun have one called against them, and Sue Bird will go to the line.
That's a pretty easy call for Coach Busek. She's saying, I think I'll send my Olympian, how many decorated 3-time Olympian and all the other All-Star things. I think that's pretty easy to call. And she's a great free throw shooter, although, so there's a lot of statistics to back that decision up.
There aren't many coaching no-brainers. That's certainly that's one of them. Ball gets knocked loose. So you have a couple of former #1 draft picks, #1 overall draft picks on the Seattle team, and Sue Bird and Breanna Stewart out of the University of Connecticut, and they're 2 of 5 to come out of Connecticut as #1 picks, as one of them, Bird, Hogs. Tina Charles is one. She played for Connecticut to begin her career. Here's Langhorne driving, scooping, and putting it through, 54-47. Diana Taurasi and Maya Moore also in that club, and they share a birthday, which is coming up, June 11th. So happy birthday to a couple of former #1 picks. The crowd doesn't like that call.
I'm wondering if the officials need to get together on the call, but
it's going to go back to Seattle.
Great to hear the fans getting into it. This is a close game. This is anyone's game to win. Ooh, a moving screen.
That's the call.
Illegal screen, number 3, Breanna Stewart.
Stewart gets called on that illegal screen. Sun trailing by 7. Have the ball with less than 70 seconds to go in this third quarter. Tuck, Thomas, foul.
That was a delay call. It looked to be a foul while it was live, but they didn't really call it initially. Let's talk about Morgan Tuck value right there, and the fact that her awareness, that was a quick pass. As she got it, she saw where Alyssa Thomas could get it best to score.
Well, here's Thomas on the line, and Alyssa, until that miss, is See, she had made 3 out of 3 before that. First miss of the night. Morgan Tuck having a good third quarter for the Sun, as you see Alicia Clark checking out, as the Sun found themselves down by as many as 14 early in this third quarter. Tuck 8 points in quarter 3, and Alyssa Thomas with 1 out of 2 makes this a 6-point game. Kelly Farris, the defensive stance, fights under the screen, stays with Lloyd, and here's the pickoff by Thomas, and Alyssa Thomas turns the good defense into a couple of points at the other end to make it a 4-point game.
And that's a team defense right there. That's Kelly Farris putting pressure on the ball that makes it a hard pass, and Alyssa reading that to know to get in the passing lane.
Alyssa Thomas picks up that personal, and it is the 4th on the Sun, 3rd on Thomas. Jenna O'Hay to inbound here.
Thomas is playing very well. She's very energetic in that run and really pushing in intensity and attack mode. She's still very disgruntled on the call, does not agree with it.
7 points, 5 rebounds for Alyssa Thomas. Bird floating it for Stewart, and now she has a couple of field goals in this game. 4 points for Stewart, 6-point lead for Seattle. Shakina Strickland, as we mentioned earlier, back on the floor after missing several games with a knee injury.
Sue Bird saying, come on, and laughing and chuckling, and I actually was thinking that maybe she was joking about it, but she doesn't seem to be, and it looked like she was all over Kelly Farris's back. Kelly was thinking she had an extra 100 pounds put on there.
Kelly Farris gave Kurt Miller such a great effort in that game against Indiana on Sunday that Kurt actually got a little bit of emotional talking about Kelly's playing that game.
He did, and it's that idea that when you have a player that just leaves it all out on the floor and plays with heart and emotion, it touches you as a coach, because they're not a dime a dozen. There's special players out there that give you everything they can give, and even if they're not the most athletic.
Sue Bird falls down.
Timeout, Storm.
And the timeout was granted to Seattle. Short timeout, we'll keep it here with 10 seconds to go in the third quarter. Bob Husler along with former UConn point guard Debbie Fisk on a night that there are a lot of Huskies in the house. You have Gino Oriema's out there somewhere, and there's Gino right there.
And his wife Kathy right there beside him.
It's kind of like a UConn family reunion tonight with
So many UConn players on both teams right there. I'm not surprised to see him there. He's so good about keeping in touch or supporting any player that has come through. And you see a little trip right there, a super falling to the ground and calling for the timeout as no foul was called. Nor should there have been, in my opinion, but hey, I'm a little biased.
Out of the inbounds, Bird gives for Stewart, driving hard. She'll go to the line to shoot 2. You know, I remember Mike Tebow used to make a point in the very early years of the Connecticut Sun, as you get a look at this last foul, about how the Connecticut Sun crowds would come out and sometimes cheer too much for the former UConn players. But over the course of time, and it didn't take long, it became they would cheer for the UConn players during the introductions and then get totally behind the Sun. And that's what we see tonight. Good reception, great reception for Stewart, as you see another Husky lead the game here, Kelly Farris. Great reception for Sue Bird, who's had a great night. But these Connecticut Sun crowds over now really the lifetime of the franchise. It didn't, as I said, take long. In 03, it was a little bit of an awkward issue, but then they became Connecticut Sun fans through and through.
That's the beauty of it, and I think Connecticut fans, they love good basketball and they love good talent, and you have good players here at the Connecticut Sun. You need to, I think, to see their Connecticut players come is to support them, but the idea is they quickly fall in love with the Connecticut Sun players.
Well, Jasmine Thomas gave them something to cheer about late in that third quarter as she hits the horn right hits the shot right before the horn, and that brings us to the end of the third quarter, and it's a 4-point game. Seattle is leading Connecticut 58-54 on WNBA League Pass. Oh, her?
Hey.
You know her too.
I do too.
Good to see Rebecca Lobo in the house tonight. She has worked our broadcast in the past. Part of a large UConn contingent inside the Mohegan Sun Arena watching a close game. 4-point game. Seattle has the ball to get things going here. Lloyd for Stewart, and now Stewart is starting to pile up the points. She was scoreless for a good part of this game, but she had a couple of buckets in that third quarter, and now up to 8. By the way, I want to send down my congratulations, and I'm sure you'll second this. Rebecca Lobo has been inducted into the Connecticut Women's Hall of Fame, which is not sports related. This is just women. Like
awesome.
Catherine,
I did not know that. I'm glad
Hepburn
you mentioned
is
that.
in that Hall of Fame. Harriet Beecher Stowe is in that Hall of Fame. So congratulations to Rebecca on a tremendous honor. She's running out of the room in that,
I'm thinking,
the trophy room.
I'm gonna have to buy a house just for all these accolades alone. Forget about all our kids and the husband.
Her husband, of course, Steve Russian, great writer for Sports Illustrated. Here's a Glumake inside. She got free. 4-point game.
Where you see two young teams. Who knows how to close out?
Morgan Tuck on that foul. So the Sun 5 right now. Bantam on the floor along with Jazz Thomas, Morgan Tuck, Shakina Strickland, Chinea Glumake. It's Lloyd at the point right now. Sue Bird getting a blow here to start the fourth quarter. Stewart, Lloyd, touch pass, Mosqueda Lewis. Off of the rebound, here is Rachel Bantam. Sun trying to slice into that 4-point lead. Bantam, running jumper, doesn't go. Glumake fouled. Today, Glumake will go to the line with a chance to make this a 2-point game.
Great job by Ogumake in there. Just be active. Just get a tip on that, and that's her aggressiveness is what earned her. You can see right there, shot goes up. She's working hard. Just a tip, that's all you need. Don't even get to two hands on it, but just going up there and putting pressure on the Storm. Battling on the boards.
First by Chinea is good. Chinea trying to work her back up to full strength after recovering all of last season from microfracture knee surgery. Couple of free throws here. Makes this a 2-point game. Now that Connecticut Sun crowd starting to get energized. Mosqueda Lewis. Bukowski committed that last foul, sets the screen, pops out, and lets it fly. Off of the mark, Lloyd, the rebound. Reset for the Storm. Reset to 14, down to 9. End off for Lloyd. Stewart, good screen, and Lloyd fires off of it, but way off of the mark, and Bantam let it go. Sun basketball with a little more than 8 minutes to go in the game as the Sun trying to end that 6-game losing streak, trying to win for the first time at home this year.
Coach Balsack has seen enough without her Storm being led by Sue Bird. Looks like they're not letting the players in.
Langhorne and Bird will get in on the next dead ball as Tuck dribbles to her right. Bantam refeeds Tuck. Tuck, nice drop step, but the layup didn't go. Big time collision as Glumake kept it alive for Strickland, and she scores.
Look at the emotion right there. That's what you'd have to see. They play with emotion that takes you to the next level. Glumake really excited about that play because she's the one that kept that alive. She came in there and just tapped it to get in there, and you just see excitement.
Second on the store.
Emotion's a good thing because that's right now in a close game like this. It just takes it to the next level.
The game is tied, and now a possible three-point play for Strickland as the Sun look to go back on top. Off of the miss. Might have a lane violation here on Seattle. And the Sun are going to get another chance.
Strickland gets a second chance right here.
Sun's largest lead has been 3. Strickland cannot take advantage of 2 opportunities to give the Sun the lead. So we are tied at 60 with under 8 to go in the game. Bird back in the game. Langhorne back in the game. Bird stops, loops it for Mosqueda Lewis. There's a 3, and Mosqueda Lewis hits the 3. You knew if you kept giving her the look, she'd find the way eventually.
Right. She misses 1. It's not too often she's going to miss 2 or 3 of them. And Connecticut fans have seen a lot of Mosqueda Lewis's 3s.
Well, Jasmine Thomas saw the space and drove right into it. Sun down by 1, 63-62. 7:05 to go. Mosqueda Lewis gives up for Bird. The fake, the drive, tough shot, felt the contact. She'll go to the line to shoot 2. And what a night that Sue Bird is having tonight for the Seattle Storm.
She certainly is. Let's take a look at the replay there, see where the, oh, that's the pull-up jumper right there. And Thomas is saying, really? I didn't touch her. Maybe a little tap, and being the veteran out there gets the benefit of the call.
Well, how about Sue Bird now? 22 points, trying to score her 23rd.
The presence out on the floor is so invaluable. It's valuable to the Storm.
So she gets the 23rd and 24th point of the night. Leading the way here for Seattle. Jasmine Thomas misses at the other end. Bird, a backward pass for Langhorne. Seattle protecting the 3-point lead. Langhorne had the ball, but we have the whistle blown underneath. It's going to be a hold. Tina Strickland. It's called on the violation. She'll check out. Alyssa Thomas checks back in.
See a lot of talk and communication right now with the Sun on that right now. Everybody talking. That's what you want to see in there. Needs to be communication. Who's passing off? Be aware where Sue Bird is on the floor at all times.
Langhorne floats it to the post. Mosqueda Lewis inside. Rolls out.
Two guard players playing the post.
3-point game. Tuck has 13 in this game. Gives up for Banham. Back for Tuck. 13 for Tuck. It's a new season and career high. Thomas with 4 to shoot. Lets it go. Stewart, another rebound. She now has 11 to go along with her 8 points. Mosqueda Lewis steps back and hits again. This is a long 2 for Kalina Mosqueda Lewis. 67-62 Seattle, and that will lead to a timeout. Connecticut timeout, 5:39 to go, and the Sun down 5 to the Storm on League Pass. Well, the action of the WNBA's 20th anniversary season with the new WNBA League Pass. Watch games live or on demand on your computer, phone, or tablet. Visit WNBA.com/League Pass. 5:39 remaining. Bob Husler along with Debbie Fisk. Fun night here inside the Mohegan Sun Arena. A lot of build-up for this game, mostly surrounding the return of Breanna Stewart. Stewart has 8 and 11 rebounds. Morgan Tuck, her teammate on those spectacular Husky teams that won 4 straight national championships. She has 13 to lead all Sun scorers.
Very efficient on 5 of 7 shooting.
That's Thomas to Agumake. 9 to shoot. Tuck guarded by Langhorne. Tuck down the lane. Kick ball.
Morgan Tuck made a strong move there, but it was one of those things where all of a sudden you get there and not anything develop where you want to go. Good thing to bounce it off somebody's foot.
Yeah, because you get the reset shot clock. It was down to 3. Now it's 14 as they reset with 5:20 to go in the game. Be a Seattle foul.
And it's been quite a... The Sun have had a lot of trips to the free throw line there. 15 of 20 at the moment. That's 20 attempts and only 9 attempts for the Storm at this point.
Sun are in the bonus. 5 team fouls on Seattle with 5:19 remaining in this fourth quarter. And here's Thomas on the line, making the first. Alyssa Thomas, a high-energy player. She's been bringing it again tonight. She had a good game last time out. 20 points, season high in the loss against Indiana after a couple of free throws. Alyssa Thomas now has 8. Here's Bird feeding for Stewart. Shot clock is down to 6. Bird for Stewart. The fake, the kick out for Bird. 1 to shoot. Shot clock violation.
Great defense by the Sun. Bird right there. You could tell that she had that mentality that, you know, she's right now telling herself, my bad, I didn't make the right play there. But she's trying off that screen with the Sun haven't been able to defend sometimes. They're right on that, and they did a good job of hiding down low. All options were gone. Forces great point guard to make a turnover.
13 of them, as you saw, against Seattle. 11 on the Sun. Thomas for Bentley. Picked up by Clark. Bentley backs up. 9 to shoot. Throws it for Tuck. Working against Stewart. Turns, shoots, and hits. Oh, Morgan Tuck comes away with the victory that time in her one-on-one matchup against Stewart.
Certainly playing how the Connecticut Sun pictured her when they drafted her third.
That's correct. 15-point night for Tuck. Here's Stewart shooting over Tuck, and she answers back. 69-66 Seattle as the two good friends go at it at either end.
Great battle going on.
Under 4 to play in regulation. Tuck driving hard again and banking it through, and Morgan Tuck is taking over this game for Connecticut.
Give me the ball, coach. And just with about Morgan Tuck, she's steady herself. She doesn't get the highs too high, the lows too low. Focused, smart player.
She has 17 points. Stewart, good pass to Mosqueda Lewis, and she lays it through.
Storm doing a good job of taking Mosqueda Lewis down low on the guards. She can post up. She's a shooter, but she can also post down low.
She has 7 all in this fourth quarter. Thomas off of the dribble. Not there. Stewart hauls in another rebound. Her 12th.
Wrong person shooting the ball. You need to go to your hot hand, Morgan Tuck.
Off of the Mosqueda Lewis miss. Here's Alyssa Thomas, and it's taken away by Bird. And here is Clark, who had fallen down at the other end, getting back up and right in position to take the pass from Bird, and she scores, and Seattle leads it by 5.
Big defensive play by Sue Bird.
Alyssa Thomas, pretty reverse layup. Sun down by 3 with under 3 minutes to play.
Thomas right there, square up and attack the basket. She does such a good job at driving the lane.
Mosqueda Lewis, Bentley defending. Throws it for Bird. Bird has 24 points in this game. No look for Stewart, and the 3. Front rim. Big time rebound to Glumacay, and the Sun down by 3. Push it ahead. Bentley at Bird, lays it up, missed the layup, and Langhorne the rebound. Bird pushes it ahead for Mosqueda Lewis. Spot up 3. Rims out. Rebound. Fought for. Who did touch?
It looks like it's staying to the Storm.
Timeout on the floor.
Indication Seattle basketball will take a break. 2:06 to go. Storm lead the Sun by 3 on league pass. 26 to go. Seattle leading Connecticut 73-70. Storm basketball coming out of a timeout in what has become an entertaining game.
It certainly has. It's been interesting as different players have had different moments to take on certain roles. We talked, Super was really taking it on for the Storm and certainly having a great game. But you look to Morgan Tuck from the Sun, 7 for 9 from the field overall, and 17 points, really stepping up and doing some great things. She hasn't been visiting the bench at all. Coaches say, she doesn't even look tired when she's doing that, but usually it's like, okay, 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there. Tonight, she has earned her role out there on the floor.
Bird, here's Langhorne. They feed Stewart. She has a double-double in this game as it knocked away, regains. Nice pass to Langhorne, but she's convened upon as Bird got off the shot, but wouldn't have counted. Shot clock violation. The second time the Sun have forced the Storm to turn it over off of a shot clock violation.
And she just chucked it at the rim because she was aware that the shot clock was going down. I don't know if her teammates were, but you could just tell her saying for them to calm down right now. And that's the veteran out there leading. Looking right now, who is that player for the Sun? A crunch game right now. They need that steadying hand.
Down by 3 with the ball. Bentley works off the Tuck screen. Behind the back bounce for Tuck. Jasmine Thomas, 10 on the shot clock. Bentley, 5 to shoot. Bentley driving, pulling up, shooting. Another miss for Bentley, who is having trouble tonight. Just 2 for 13 from the field. And the Storm get it back with 1:23 to go in regulation.
Gumake was buried down low. Have to find a way to get it down to the post.
Stewart misses on the jump hook. Another chance for the Sun. 70 seconds to go, trailing by 3.
And right now, I think Kurt Miller is calling down low. He wants Morgan Tuck to kind of have her, right there she is coming off the screen.
And fires a 3 for the tie, she's got it!
And you can see Kurt Miller, he knows, get the ball to Morgan Tuck. She's the hot player right now, and he called that play. Sun executed, that's what you want to see.
Tuck now has 20, and more importantly, she has tied the game with under a minute to play. Bird on top, Lloyd a 3. It's good. Jewel Lloyd breaks the tie. She has not had an active night scoring, only 9 points for Lloyd. But it's not always how many, it's when you score them, and Jewel Lloyd with a big answer right there. Timeout on the floor. We will keep it right here with 41 seconds to go. Maybe we can get a look at those back-to-back threes. Big shots in this game. Morgan Tuck at one end and Jewel Lloyd at the other.
And you had mentioned Jewel Lloyd being quiet. For the most part, really hasn't been out there, but she has been the leading scorer for the Storm at 18 points a game. So interesting, a player like that, you can only keep quiet for so long, and they have the chance to those moments. Anything you can do, I can do better, I guess. It's been a lot of back and forth where you've seen Storm do something great, you've seen the Storm do something great, and then you've seen the Sun come out and do it, and that's what you're hoping. We haven't seen that so far this season, an answer for the Sun. Once a team kind of makes that little run, they haven't responded back. It's been give and go at both ends.
Well, here's that big 3 by Morgan Tuck that tied the game at 73, and it's her first 20-point game as a professional. Come on, Rebecca, that was an exciting sequence right there.
We need to get this.
Well, you know what it is. She's tired out she's got her kids there.
The kids, they will fatigue you. All the time out, curious to see what is Kurt Miller going to draw up. Are they going to go to Morgan Tuck again? She has to be an option for them.
Well, Jewel Lloyd hit the big shot a few moments ago to break the tie for Seattle, and now the Sun try to answer back with under 40 seconds to go in regulation. Thomas for Alyssa Thomas. She's tripped by Clark, and the Storm are in the penalty. Free throws coming up for Alyssa Thomas.
You see drawing up there. That first idea was to get Morgan Tuck popping off the high screen. Alyssa Thomas becomes that second option to see what she can do on the left side of the floor.
Alyssa Thomas 5 for 6 from the free throw line, 67% on the season. Pressure free throws here for the Sun, and Thomas cans the first. 33 seconds to go. One more coming for Alyssa Thomas, third-year pro out of Maryland.
When you are, players love these kind of games, and this is what you play the game for. It comes down there. You want to be on the free throw line. You want to have that ice in the veins. You sink the shots, and you're already thinking the next play, okay, basket goes in, we need to pick up, or what are we doing defensively to get the ball back again?
Thomas made them both. Nice job by her to make this a one-point game. 76-75. Seattle with the ball. 9-second difference. Shot clock, game clock.
The Sun will get the ball back. They just got to play good defense. Try not to put the Storm on the line. You will get the ball back if you get a good defensive stop.
Lloyd throws it for Bird. 5 to shoot. Bird will take a long three. Too strong. Tuck has the rebound, and then a timeout is called by Connecticut. We'll keep it here with 8.8 remaining.
And that's the play you needed for Sue Bird to take it a good 1 or 2, almost 2 feet behind the three-point line there. 1 foot. It looked a little further to me, maybe not. I'm sorry.
But the point is that the Sun, if you're going to come away from one impression of this fourth quarter, in addition to how Morgan Tuck has taken over the game for Connecticut, their defense has tightened up considerably. Team defense here in the fourth quarter. They have forced Seattle into a couple of 24-second violations, and that time did a great job denying Lloyd a good look. They disrupted that play, and Bird had to settle for that three with the shot clock winding down.
She knew she had to get this shot, so you will take that. If she makes that shot, you're going to say, okay, that's fine, we'll come out and get it done. But to get that and then come up with the key rebound. What happens when a shot goes up, they have a tendency to forget it.
Well, here we go. 8.8 to go. The Sun trying to pull this one out. As Kurt Miller drawn up a game-winning play. We're going to find out momentarily as Bentley will trigger. Bounces for Thomas. Gives for Camille Little. 5 seconds. Little driving, stopping, shooting. Off of a miss. The rebound is put through by Thomas with 0.6 of a second remaining.
Wow, way to be there, Alyssa Thomas, on that putback, not even letting the ball come down. Not the best shot, but maybe we're going to say it was a pass to Thomas.
Camille Little will be more than happy to get credit for an assist on a huge play by Alyssa Thomas. And the Sun are up by a point, and if they can defend here for the last 6/10 seconds of regulation, they are going to end the losing streak and come away with their first home win.
Excitement in the house. Arena people are fans, they can feel it, they taste it, they want a home victory.
Biggest crowd of the young season tonight, 8,075, have witnessed a thriller. Alyssa Thomas caught the missed shot by Camille Little and put it through to give the Sun the 1-point lead.
We'll get the ball on the sideline. On their end of the basket. The one thing the pro game is that it gets that having that after a timeout call.
So Clark will trigger. It'll have to be essentially a catch and shoot situation for the Storm. And Sierra Cruz resets here on the inbounds and gives it for Clark. Clark looking to give up. Throws it to the post to Stewart, who misses a shot at the buzzer, and the Sun have won it. The 6-game losing streak is over. The Sun have their first home win of the season, and it was a thriller. Morgan Tuck leads the way with a career high. She had 20 points, but the big basket of the night, it was Alyssa Thomas in the right place at the right time. Caught the Camille Little miss, put it through. The Sun, with that desperate sense of needing to win tonight,
urgency,
finally get it.
Wow, what an exciting game. And so many players stepping up. You saw a couple things come through. You expect other players, but at different parts of the game, great to see the rookie, Morgan Tuck, really come through and develop and look poised. That she was a veteran out there. She didn't have a rookie look to her.
Nope, she took over the game, and that's what the Sun have been looking for all season long. Who's going to be that person to step up when things